Todd Donahoe, and I'll be your host of the BPA King of Bowling this year. Good to have bowling back on Channel 5, and we'll have bowling every noon, every Sunday for the next 12 Sundays. Returning from last year, our expert analyst, Dave Newrath. Dave?
Todd, it's great to be back. I think the '84 season will pick up right where it left off here at Delfair Lanes with a bunch of exciting matches. I think we're in for one heck of a good season. We're
going to have a great game in our first game today. We'll have Ed Hamlin versus Lee Estill. Tell us about Ed Hamlin.
Contrasting styles. Ed Hamlin, big, bulky player, overpowers the pins. He's got a super cupped release, nice approach to the foul line. He really likes to throw pins around, gets the ball down nice and early. Good roll.
And Ed Hamlin qualified last week with a 726 series. Also qualifying with a 726 series, Lee Estill.
Lee is probably one of the most lofty players we have out here. Now, what I mean by that is he does not get the ball down short, bypasses the heads, getting the ball well out onto the lane. Good revolution, good position at the foul line. Should have a good match.
And game one coming up next on the BPA King of Bowling. King of Bowling.
BPA King of Bowling. Brought to you by the Hudy Brewing Company, America's great small brewery.
Hey, Dad, what are we going to do this weekend?
Game number one, Ed Hamlin versus Lee Estill. Hamlin will bowl first. And that's the way to start off our 1984 season. A solid strike for Ed Hamlin.
Opening the show with an absolutely perfect shot, Todd.
And he'll face Lee Estill. Lee, a 26-year-old. His average 192.
Lee throws the ball very well. He's a very studied player.
And he's light.
First frame jitters there, I'm sure. He'd been hitting the pocket with regularity in the warm-ups, Todd. Getting up there just a little too quickly, throwing the ball way wide, leaving the 1, the 2, and the 10. To convert this spare, he has to cross over on the Brooklyn side, just to the left of the head pin, throwing the head pin over into the 10. Let's see if he can do it.
No, he's open in the first frame.
Not quite far enough over to the left. It's tough. First time on TV in quite a while, and you get those first frame jitters when the cameras come up. And now Lee's job is to just settle down and make good shots, and the strikes will come.
So what is he telling himself right now?
Well, right now, hopefully he's just saying, okay, the first frame's over. It's behind me. My job is to just put this ball right in the pocket and see what happens.
And he puts it in the pocket.
Much better shot, Todd. That was perfect.
That'll relax a guy.
It'll certainly help, that's for sure. Let's take a look at this perfect shot here. I'll tell you what, ball far out onto the lane. Good power, a great stroke. Going down, 10 pins in the pit. Eddie Hamlin going high on the right-hand lane, leaving a split. Very difficult shot to bring back, if not impossible, Todd.
So things could even up here quickly.
Well, that's the way this game is. You never, ever want to give up. You never know when your opponent may stumble. You throw 3 or 4 in a row and get right back in the match. Ed will shoot cross lane, take out the 6 and the 10 for pin count.
And he's open in the second. You and I were talking before the show, really in bowling, it's not how high your score is that really counts, it's the differential. You've got to win. Sometimes the lanes are going to give you good rolls, sometimes not.
Match play competition, the name of the game here on Sundays. It's not how high the score is, it's who wins.
And he's got him.
Oh, great. Ball going a hair high, but tripping out the 4-pin. As we can see here on the replay, excellent shot. Ball will go a hair high, the head pin, center your screen, will go to the wall, come back, hit the 5-pin, and catch the 4 in the back. Excellent shot.
And there's your score.
28, second for Hamlin. Lee has the opportunity to go to 39 to gain a 11-pin edge if he strikes here.
And he's light.
Going light again. Todd, to set up the match, often 2 lanes will differ. Even if it's a subtle difference, the players have to be able to pick it up, make the according adjustments. Obviously, Lee has not been able to do that yet. Should bring this spare back. It does have a sleeper. It is difficult to bring back, but if you hit the front pin, the 2-pin, straight on, it should carry through and get the 8.
And he cleans him out.
About as perfect as you can make it. What we have right now is a 1-pin advantage going to Lee. The count in the open frame in the second hurt Eddie. But we've got a match. He has the advantage of a strikeout.
And Lee likes this left lane.
Both bowlers seem to like the left lane right now. Let's see if he can capitalize on it once more.
Nope.
Leaving the 2-4-5, a very common leave in the game of bowling. To make this, you have to hit the 2-pin just to the right. The 2 will go through, take out the 4, and the ball should take out the 5. If you don't flatten the ball out, you stand a chance to chop it. Look out.
Nope.
It's exactly what you have.
Leaves the 5-pin.
Exactly what you have to look out for, Todd. We're going to see it here on the replay. The ball will cut through. Now here, if he'd have flattened the ball out and sent it a little more to the right, he'd be okay. But the ball is going to cut right straight through, leaving the 5-pin.
And Hamlin, and he gets them all.
Going to capitalize on that open frame every time, Todd. The better bowler, when seeing his opponent stumble, will pick it up and take it right to the heart. Excellent shot by Eddie Hamlin on the right lane.
When you talk about competition, that's like going for the juggler.
You got it. Try to finish him off early.
That big brace there on Ed Hamlin's right wrist.
Got the ball down way short.
A lot of rotation, but leaves a couple.
Did you notice you barely heard the ball hit the lane at all, Todd? Now, he normally does get the ball down shorter than Lee, but that was way too short. Taking the roll off, the ball was not going to come up, and even if it had, the chances are he'd have left a weak 10-pin or something.
He's got to pick up the 2-8 now.
Should be all right.
Gets them both. You mentioned that Ed does not extend himself as much as Lee.
Well, I mentioned bulky before, not in any negative manner towards Ed, but he is a bigger man. He's put together, he's quite muscular, and those muscles just aren't quite as loose and limber as a fellow like Lee, and he can't extend quite as much. Much stronger, but not quite as free.
And Estill puts him down on that right lane that he's had trouble with.
Going to check it on the replay here. Excellent shot. Ball well out on the lane, coming down the ball, finishing strongly. 10 pins in the pit, everything doing its job. Lee has an opportunity to get right back in this match with a strike right here. Trailing by 11, 12 pins, 21 pins right now. Could cut it to 11 right here. Oh, great. its job again, Todd. Excellent shot. Let's pick it up here. The head pin, center of your screen, is going to go to the wall, come back, and trip the forepin right out behind the back.
Lee really kicks that left foot up, doesn't he? And another solid one for Ed Hamlin.
We've got a match here, Todd.
These guys are loose and rolling through 6.
6 frames. Things are loosening up quite a bit. At this point in the match, we have an 11-pin game right now. The advantage going to Eddie Hamlin. .96 in the 5th. Potential 85 in the 5th for Lee. Ed Hamlin, left lane, would like to get this one right here.
Heavy, and he leaves himself a split.
Oh, disastrous place for that shot, Todd. Anything you don't want to do is leave your opponent up right now. He got that ball in early. The ball took off on him, hooked right up through the head pin, taking the head pin straight back, leaving the 4, the 7, and the 10. Very difficult spare to make. Ed's going to shoot for it. You can bet on it.
And he's going to get 1.
This match is coming right down to the wire.
And Lee Estill is working on 2 strikes.
Definitely the advantage to Lee right now. Could take the lead with this shot right here. Looks good.
Got them all.
Excellent shot.
10 in the pit.
Todd Lee's answering the call right here, as we're going to see on the replay. Check out his footwork. Excellent footwork. He's a well-studied player. Nice methodical heel-toe action. Deep knee bend right at the point of release and then raising up. Maximum power through the pocket. 10 in the pit. Lee's excited.
5-step approach.
Even though he doesn't look at least excited, I can guarantee you. He now has a 1-pin advantage. Could stretch it out to 11 with this one right here. Looks good.
Got them all. 10 in the pit once again for Lee Estill. Dave, time to mention right now, Ken Ripperger, Don Wickersham, and Roy Nixon from Hudy Brewery here today.
As always, Ed Hamlin's job right now. He has to get striking, and it's got to be now. He answers the call, Todd. Let's check it on the replay here. He gets the ball down a little short again, but his excellent muscle power brings the ball swirling back, head pin going to the wall, coming off, doing its job. Right now, Eddie Hamlin has to keep striking to keep the pressure on Lee Estill.
And you did see the smile on Hamlin's face after getting that strike.
Well, he got the ball down short, and he knew it. This is a much better shot, and he loses the hit. The screaming 10 that we always talk about, Todd. He actually paid the penalty for throwing a better shot that frame than the frame before. He desperately needed that one to put any kind of pressure on Lee at all. With a spare here, all Lee has to do is mark out the rest of the game, and he's in good shape.
Delaware Lanes would like to mention the following: 15th Annual Thule Classic, March 3rd, 1984. It's a one-day tournament. Squad times are noon and 3 p.m. $1,000 first place. Entry fee $20. Here at Delaware on March 3rd.
A 32-pin advantage to Lee Estill right now. If he just keeps it clean the rest of the game, he has a winner. It's in the area.
Leaves the 10.
A little more speed, a little more loft, and a little less roll creates a weak 10 that time. Contrasting to Eddie Hamlin's ringing 10, the 6-pin did not do its job, creating that result, that nasty little 10-pin in a corner. Lee should shoot it cross lane. Have no problem with it normally.
Whoa. Now that's walking a tightrope.
It certainly is.
There's a sigh of relief.
He has a 22-pin lead going into the 10th frame. The only way Ed Hamlin can win is to strike out in the 10th, and only if Lee opens once more. Lee knows he can close it out right here. His fate's in his hands.
he's light.
Don't go away. That's the great thing about this game, Todd. You never want to wish ill on anyone, but so many things can happen. Difficult spare, the war shout. 1, 2, 4, 10. Very difficult to make. You have to go Brooklyn, let the ball carry them through, get the 2 and the 4, and throw the head pin over into the 10. Requires a lot of accuracy, a delicate shot. Let's see how Lee handles it. Nope.
Only gets 2.
As you're going to see here on the replay, Lee did not get the ball far enough to the left, taking the head pin straight back rather than throwing it over to the right. Ed Hamlin now can take this game all the way to the wall and win it.
And
there's the first one.
Strike.
Oh, there we go.
Lee finished with a 188.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, Todd, it's not the score, it's the amount of competition. Now, the whole first game comes down to this shot right here. Ed Hamlin can win it. Has a potential 192, but he can't get there unless he gets this shot. This is it.
And he's got it.
Great come from behind. Now, all Ed has to do is keep the ball safely on the lane, come up with a any kind of a count here, and he'll be okay. 188 to finish. He already has 182. Needs at least 7 pins. 7 pins to win. Got it.
A little heavy, but nonetheless 8 pins. And he is the winner of our first game, 190 to 188 over Lee Estill. And Ed Hamlin will now advance to game 2 to play Don Scudder, and we'll have that next on the BPA King of Bowling.